are essential to life, and they have been since the dawn of humanity. And yet, for some reason, there's still not a forum out there on the web where people are allowed to talk about share chairs, interact with chairs, discuss chairs. We bring you that solution. Chair Mecca.
Okay, so before we get into the whole tour of the site or anything, let's just get into some of the back-end technology and the site architecture that we used. So technology-wise, we use, obviously the basics. We have Node.js, AngularJS, jQuery, Bootstrap, Express. For a database, we chose to go with MongoDB, and we're using Mongoose. We're also using Passport for the authentication. Architecture-wise, we have our server.js for all of our HTTP requests and communication to the database. And then we have an index.html, which has our top nav bar and also has a routing view for all of our other pages. And then we have our app.js file that handles all of the routing of those pages. It also does login checking, and it contains our app factory for all of our requests. So it's just some issues that we wound up running into throughout our project. On the profile page, because we're checking whether or not the user is logged in when they go to the profile page, every once in a while it doesn't realize that we're logged in, and it actually will bring us to the login page. So we could remove the checking and it would work, but we figured we'd rather lock people out than let everybody in. Another thing was that once we had our site done locally and we put it on OpenShift, we ran into a few additional problems. One of these was when we tried to update an object in our database. We wouldn't receive any errors from the application, but for some reason, the item would just not be updated. So to work around this, we removed the object and then created an identical object with the same ID and added that. So it was essentially the same thing. But then along the same lines, our search functionality works locally, but it doesn't actually work on OpenShift. And for this, we don't really know a way to handle that on OpenShift. We can't really make the same type of workaround. So for now, it only works on our local feed. And I will give it back to Justin for the site demonstration.
So here we are on the first page of the site. We are not logged in or anything. So notice you can see all the chairs loaded into the site, their names and descriptions, but I can't click on anything here. It doesn't do anything. So I'm going to go ahead and register a new user. All right. We're going to call him Billy. Last name Billy. Email address Billy@Billy. Username Billy. Password Billy. We're going to register. Oh, what's that? Passwords don't match. Good thing we checked that. Billy. All right, let's register and get on in here. So I can see the profile. I can edit it. I'll change my last name to Billy2. Update. There you go, Billy2. I can go down. I can see all my favorite chairs and my favorite users, of which I have none yet. It's not a problem. Let's go over to the newsfeed and look at all these chairs. Now I can click right on these chairs and go into the detail view of them. Here's the image, their title, their description, and all these comments as well. I can favorite them right from here, so let's do that. Favorite the foot hand chair, that's great. And wow, this is a crazy chair, said Bentson Haddadni. Let's check out that user. He seems like a good guy. Let's favorite him. Yep. Here's another chair. CDs glued together. Let's favorite that as well. All right, let's head back to our profile. You'll see both of the chairs have been added to our favorites, as well as the user. We can also delete these, and it's dynamically updated. So now let's leave a comment on this foot hand chair. Here is a comment. Great. Now we're going to log out, log back in as someone with admin privileges. So immediately you'll notice a big difference. There's a My Chairs section, and this is for all of the chairs that I have uploaded. I can edit them, update it very nicely. I can delete them. And now, since this was my chair and I've deleted it, if I go to the news feed, you'll see that that chair is nowhere to be found. It's been completely removed from the database. So another thing I can do is I can add chairs. Come right in here, new chair. This is the new chair description. And all I need is the image URL. So I can come right over here, look at all these nice pugs and chairs. All right, copy this image URL, paste it there, and look at that. There it is. Edit it right away, no problem. So in addition to all this stuff, we can go into any of our chairs, even favorite them. It's a little vain, but we can do it. And we can also edit the comments on these chairs. For instance, if I find, hey, you know what, this is a bit of an inappropriate comment, let's delete that. Yes. So now we're going to switch over to localhost just to demonstrate search. Let's log in. And I can search. Let's search for chairs. See if there's any chairs on this website. Oh, look at that. Tons of chairs. Great. All right. Well, let's search for something a little more crazy. Maybe walrus. Well, look at that. They make chairs out of everything. But it's not only restricted to chairs, this search. I can also search for users. There's Joe. Click on him. Favorite him if I like. Very good. Even email addresses. So search for .com here. And look at that. All of our users right there.
And also, just before we finish our demonstration, I forgot to mention something before. When it comes to the database, we're actually using three schemas. We have a user, a chair, and a comment. Users have things such as first names, last names, usernames, emails, chairs that they have, favorite chairs, everything that has to do with the user. Chairs, likewise, have a name, an image, and a description, and a list of comments. And then comments obviously have the actual text for the comment and the user that made the comment.
Thanks so much for coming on our tour, and we hope you like our website.